For now, let's shift focus and tell you what's happening in Iran. On Wednesday, we told you how Iranians were celebrating their loss, their team's defeat in the FIFA World Cup. They danced on the streets, cheered for the Americans, even waved the American flag, all in a bid to embarrass their regime. Guess how the regime has responded? It has shot and killed a man who celebrated the loss. At least that's what an Oslo-based Iran human rights group says. It says that Iranian security forces killed a 27-year-old man for honking his car's horn. Yes, that's how trivial his supposed crime was. So who exactly was this man? Reports say his name was Mehran Samak. On your screen is a video of him partying with his friends. Reports say following Iran's defeat against America in the World Cup, Samak, like many other Iranians, took to the streets to celebrate. His only crime was not lying low. He got noticed by security forces who shot him in the head and killed him. The incident unfolded in Band al-Anzali, a city on the Caspian Sea coast northwest of Tehran. The killing has sparked national outrage. Iranians from all walks of life are protesting his death. Artists, actors, musicians, they're all condemning the gruesome killing and calling upon the world to hold the Iranian regime accountable. That's not all. Even a member of Iran's football team, midfielder Saeed Ezzatullahi, has spoken about the killing. He says the victim was his childhood friend and that he hasn't slept ever since he learned about his death. On your screen now is a picture that the football player posted. It shows both him and Samak dressed in football gear as children. The caption reads in Farsi, "I wish we could always remain that age without concern, without hate, without jealousy, without fighting to destroy each other. This is not what our youth deserves. This is not what our nation deserves. Be sure that someday, when the masks fall and the truth appears, they'll pay for your family's mournful hearts and your mother's grief." It truly is a heart-wrenching statement and an apt description of the state of affairs in Iran, where a man is killed for honking his car's horn, where journalists are arrested for questioning the regime and women are beaten for not abiding by the regime's dress code. Just where will this cycle end? What will it take for the world to hold Iran accountable? Why are world leaders and global bodies silent on this? It's about time we ask these questions. It's been over 3 months since these protests started. 3 months of torture, atrocities, and human rights violations. 3 months of unwarranted killings, imprisonments, disappearances. Yet, much of the Western world has largely remained silent. Take the case of the United States, a country that likes to play the global cop, a country that likes to name and shame human rights violators. Since February this year, it has unleashed a string of invectives against Russia, slammed Moscow for its alleged human rights violations in Ukraine. How many statements has the US president issued on Iran? Forget the president. How many Western activists have spoken on this? Last we checked, there weren't many in number. Even those who have appeared to have done so at the behest of the Iranian diaspora living in their countries. So they might have spoken at protest rallies organized by some Iranian diaspora, but my point is simple. Iran is aflame with fury against its regime. Courageous women are refusing to bend before gender rules. They're joined by Iranian men who risk losing their lives. Imagine if this had unfolded in any Western country, a Ukraine, a Poland, or a Norway. The same Western world would have gone all guns blazing against the leaders of those countries. Yet, for all their talk of fighting draconian regimes, the US and Europe seem shy about getting tough on Iran. What explains this? Is it because they think condemning Iran would further stall the 2015 nuclear deal? Or is it because they think condemning Iran would further make the theocracy support Russia? The answer seems to be a mix of both. You see, Biden has made a habit of reacting only on threats to his own electoral prospects. Like the nuclear deal falling flat, Saudi Arabia shutting the gas tap, or Iran entering a prospective alliance with Russia. These are issues that drive him to make public comments. People risking lives to defend democracy. People getting killed for demanding their rights. These issues seem to have affected the world, but they seem to leave him indifferent. I don't say this without reason. Look at history. Back in 2009, when Iran witnessed similar protests, when US President Barack Obama had refused to support the movement, a decision he later called a mistake. 13 years on, Iran is once again on the boil, and the US president is once again silent. Yes, he may have expressed his concern. He may have spoken about human dignity, but that's it. We ask, isn't this politics of convenience? It's a question America and its allies, who like to act as the torch bearers of human rights, ought to answer. WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.